As you begin to listen to these words, you might notice a part of you that already knows, already feels how easy it is to forget what no longer serves and remember what's always been true. Because when you forget what you were once told, you make space for the truth to unfold. There was a time, perhaps in a dream, when a traveller walked a winding path of mirrors. Each mirror whispered something slightly different. Some said you're not enough. Some said you must wait for permission. But one mirror, hidden deep in the groove of silence, simply reflected who you really are. Do you know what that mirror showed? It showed the truth of the reticular activating system, that beautiful, obedient servant of focus, the gatekeeper of attention, the filter of fate, the lens that lets in what your mind says is great. And if that lens is tilted just slightly, towards possibility, towards power, then everything, yes everything, you ever needed to become, it's already beginning to come into view. Because now you're learning, aren't you, that what you focus on expands. And you're discovering, with a quiet excitement, that when you see it, you be it. And when you feel it, your reticular activating system seals it in. So here's a story inside a story within a whisper. There was once a gardener. This gardener never touched the soil. He simply walked into the field each morning and believed. He believed the seeds that had already sprouted. He believed the sun had already shined. And do you know what happened? The field bloomed before a drop of water touched the ground. Because beliefs, they're the weather system of the soul. And your new belief system, yes, yours, is a climate of certainty, curiosity, joy, and relentless momentum. And maybe you've noticed, as your attention sharpens, as your breath deepens, as you settle into this delicious unfolding, you begin to remember what you're really installing. You're always growing. You're enough. Your focus creates form. Your state creates faith. You're the signal the universe has been waiting for. So let me tell you something curious. A child once looked to the sky and asked, "Why do stars twinkle?" And the wise teacher said, "Because your eyes expect them to." And in that moment, the child understood the reticular activating system. Because the stars, they'd always been shining. But perception, yes, perception, that's the magic trick, the sleight of focus, that brings constellations into your view. What you focus on, you find. What you believe, you become. What you expect appears. What you align with arrives. So go ahead and expect beauty. Expect opportunities to find you fascinating. Expect every face to smile, every door to open, every challenge to transform itself into a gift wrapped in contrast. Now loop with me. Have you ever noticed how some people, they always seem to be lucky? How they walk into rooms and opportunities chase them like shadows. It's not magic, it's not fate. It's the reticular activating system, tuned to power, purpose, presence. They've trained it, and now so have you. You're the kind of person who focuses with fire and follows through, who reframes obstacles as stepping stones, sees synchronicity as a signpost, attracts energy because your frame is unshakable, uses language to lead, to inspire, to transform. You're already becoming the mirror that others want to stand in front of. Let's nest one more loop, shall we? Imagine now a movie playing on the screen of your mind. In this movie, you walk into every room with certainty. People listen when you speak because your energy says this matters. You feel calm, centered, electric with purpose. And all around you, events shift and shape themselves to fit your frame. Because your reticular activating system has been programmed. Not with noise or fear, but with vision, with intent, with undeniable, unshakable clarity. When you watch that movie, you realise You're not watching it anymore, you're inside it. You're the director, the actor, the editor, the screen. And this version of you, this radiant, magnetic, unstoppable you, it's not just real, it's already here. When you remember the truth, or when it simply remembers you, the old habits and doubts dissolve like morning mist. And every cell of your being, every word you speak, every thought you think, becomes aligned with the core presupposition of power. Reality is a mirror, and the reflection is smiling. So ask yourself now, what happens when your reticular activating system only shows you doors that open? What happens when setbacks become setups? What happens when everything begins to feel like a signpost pointing forward? And you already know the answer, because the answer is becoming your new operating system.